Okay, part 4 of accordion repair and restoration. So far I've taken out the reed blocks from the accordion, took all the reeds out and cleaned the reed blocks, and then I've cleaned up the reeds and revalved all the reeds. So I'll just show you the reeds now they've been cleaned and revalved. So these are the valves on the reeds. So with the reeds, I've, as you can see, put all the valves on and check the reed tip heights to make sure there's no reed tips are too high or too low. So I've used either a little blade or a little pointy thing for adjusting the tip height. That's all ready to go, but I haven't valved both sides of the reeds because I'm going to valve the upper side once they've been waxed in. So those are all ready to go. We've got the reed block ready to go as well. So what I'm going to do next is show how to wax the reeds nicely into the reed block, and to do that I'm going to use special reed wax, which I'm going to heat up, and then I'm going to use a little brush and fix the wax, fix the reeds onto the reed block using the wax. So I'll just show you that next. Okay, so now we find ourselves in the kitchen, and there we are. That's the reeds ready for waxing in. So we've got the high set and the low set. So the lower set are the ones more like concert pitch, and the higher ones are tuned slightly above to get the tremolo. And on the reed block I've got the H and the L, so I know which side the reeds are going to go. So the reed block's ready, the reeds are ready, I've got some little brushes ready, and in the pan here I've got some special reed wax just heating up on a very gentle heat. So as soon as that's ready at the right temperature, so it's not too hot. So if it gets too hot it will smoke, and if it starts smoking it's gone too far, you'll have to get rid of it, start again. So it's just starting to melt there. You can see there it's just started. So as soon as that's nice and molten but not too hot, I'll keep it at that kind of gentle temperature, ready to do the waxing. So I'll come back when that's ready. Okay, as you can see the wax is just now nicely molten, but it's not smoking, so I'm going to keep it, which is on about 2 on the hob there, keep it just at that temperature so it doesn't start to burn, and now we're going to start to wax the reeds in. Great, so I've got my little brush and just going to dip it in the wax, and I'm going to put a very thin coat of wax along the sides of the chamber of the first reed I'm going to put in, and also at the end just there. So there's just a little thin coating of wax all the way around that chamber. Put the brush there for a minute. So the first reed's going in. I'm going to make sure that the valve's on the bottom, and I'm just going to squeeze the valve into place and making sure it's nicely in the centre of that chamber. So now I'm going to squeeze it in. So that's now compressing down onto that wax, and the next step is to get the brush and to very carefully run the wax around all the edges of that reed. There we go. Same along the bottom edge. Now using a brush, it's really nice because you get a very nice neat finish. So I'm going to just put a little bit on the side ready for the next reed coming in, and I'm going to just put a little bit there across the top. So there we are, that's the first reed nicely waxed in. So now I'm going to get the next one, and I'm going to put a little thin coating of wax around the edges of the next reed chamber. There we go, there, across the top. There we are, ready to go. So next reed, again making sure that the valve's on the bottom, place that in place, making sure it's in the middle of the reed chamber. Squeeze that one down, and then with a little brush I'm going to go around the top, just get a little bit down in the middle with a fine brush here. Fantastic. And then around the final edge. There we are. So that's two reeds nicely in. So I'm going to complete the lot all the way to the end and I'll show you how I've got on. Okay, there we are. So all of the reeds nicely waxed in. So what I'll do now is I'll spin the reed block over and I'll do exactly the same thing with the other set of reeds, and then once that's all done I'll show you the final result. Okay, so that's the second set all waxed in. So the next step is I'm going to revolve both sides of the reed block with the outer valves, and then I'll show you how I've got on with that. Okay, so there we are. I have now revolved the outer section of the reeds. The last highest reed doesn't need a valve, so that's not been valved, but all the other ones are now ready to go, so it's all looking nice and neat. All done, all the valves lie nice and flat. There we go. So that's all ready. Okay, so there we are, all done on that one and that one. The next step is to leave this overnight, so I don't want to do anything yet and test out the reeds and the valves and let the wax just harden up. So I'll leave it overnight, and then the next video I'm going to have a listen to the reeds now that they're being kind of cleaned, valved and waxed. So I'll have a listen to them first of all on the tuning table just to see how they're working, and then I'll pop them into the accordion and see how they sound in that, and then from there I can start doing some tuning to make sure that all the reeds are singing nicely. Okay, that's the end of this one. Hope you liked the video. So on the next one we'll be looking at testing the reeds out and starting some tuning. Okay, many thanks.